Yo, what's going on, everybody? Right Way J. Right Way Regime Change, Black Americans, Clear Visions. And today I want to start off with a book, Message to the Millennials from Reza Islam. It's right here. Right here. And there was a quote from John D. Rockefeller. And you know John D. Rockefeller, right? The guy who in 1903 created the General Educational Board, which majorly funded schools all across the country and also pushed for the state public school system movement. So I wanted to start off with a quote from him. And it says here, quoted from him, "We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers or men of learning or of science." That's one. "We are not to raise up among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great painters, artists, musicians. Nor will we cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply." This is the creator of the General Educational Board, 1903. Now, it's very interesting that you're not going to raise up men of thinking. So, that goes back to that little saying that, white folks used to have back in the day, that when something like how did it go? Oh yeah. Do you know the only thing that will spoil a good nigga? Intelligence. Intelligence is the only thing that will spoil a good nigga. These are things that were said about black folks back in the day. So then, taking that, looking at what John D. Rockefeller, the creator of the General Educational Board, quoted, what he said, says to me that, white people were heavily invested into making sure that we lacked knowledge. Because for some reason, knowledge is the scariest thing a person can possess. Because the more you know, well, the more you can expose if you choose to. However, it depends on how you choose to use the knowledge, because you can use it to build and you can use it to destroy, but it's totally on you. But my point being is that they let black people get access to certain types of money and access to certain resources, but the real resources they don't give us access to, because for some reason they feel as though if they give us access to those resources, we will somehow, quoting Farrakhan, do to them what they did to us. We don't have a history of harming and killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. And it's because they have access to knowledge that they can stand on top of us. And being that our psyches are so broken down and just dismantled, because with no disrespect to any immigrant groups in the country, no immigrant groups in this country have been through what African American black people have been through in this country. None. But going back to my point about education, I kind of went off for a second. I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. Sorry, I'm just waking up. But going back to my point about education, that is a very important thing. But we definitely need to talk about, on top of education, wealth, power, control. Like, again, we can have our own districts. We can have our own districts. I'm going off on another tangent. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. With just these type of ideas being in my brain. But actually, no. I'm not going off on a tangent because it ties into my next point. Let me go ahead and pull from my next one. My next book that I'm pulling from today, which is Power Minutes. All right. Now, here, give me a second. Right here, I want to quote why, even though education is important, it's not it shouldn't be the number one goal. I mean, education is great. It's great. It's great. Yes, you're absolutely. You need it. But let's take a look historically. Within the 30 years between emancipation and Plessy versus Ferguson decision of 1896, blacks cut their illiteracy in half, reducing it from 98% to 48%. Blacks reduced their illiteracy rate twice as fast as the European immigrants. However, European immigrants achieved educationally. They moved up in wealth, income, political empowerment, social acceptance, and business ownership. Blacks were on the bottom and stayed on the bottom. Now, why did we stay on the bottom? Maybe it's because, could it be because America never lived up to what it promised? Could it be that we were used as always these punching bags? Could it be that they knew that they had broke us down so much psychologically that they could just run over us and there was nothing that we would do to stop them? Could it be that they made us feel lesser than? Could it be that they made us feel as though we are the dominant society's children, speaking their language and carrying their names? Are we their children? Do we hold them in such a high regard that we, to some degree, bow down to their power? Do we recognize that they do have power? I mean, I think that's pretty fair to say that right now they do have power. The dominant society does have power. I mean, we call them the dominant society for a reason. Just saying. And one of the powers that I see that they have is that they had the power to divide and conquer. They had the power to drive a wedge between people, between men, between women, between young, between old, to have all of them going to war with each other. So in the course of young and old fighting, there's no balance. Why is there no balance? Because young and old need the young and the old, they all need each other. The young has things that the old doesn't. The old has things that the young doesn't. These are facts. The more experience you have, the more you can give. Because at the end of the day, that's all we give, our experiences. You see. And now looking at male and female. When the male and the female are at odds with each other, no true balance is conceived. There is no balance at all. When the male and the female don't understand when and how to submit. Submission it's a beautiful thing. When it's done correctly, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is. And me, I had to, well, I ain't gonna say I'm still learning. Like, again, like because I read the Way of the Superior Man. I'm rereading it, and I'm just understanding of like masculine energy and feminine energy, and like what it means to be around it and how to dance with the energy. And I also picked up another book from a Danica Bell. That's right. Now, this is a great book. This is a great book. It's a short read too. I mean, like, I'll say about 45 minutes to an hour, you're done. But there was just some parts here I wanted to just touch on real quick that I thought were very interesting to me. Now, there are plenty of couples out there who feel as though 50-50 relationships as far as roles and duties and responsibilities are concerned is a better option because it gives both parties equality in the relationship. Yeah, makes sense. And while I can understand and respect this attempt at duality, you must know that this setup most times still contributes to the battle of the sexes, where no one wants to truly and fully cater or submit. How? Well, because in the 50-50 setup, everybody feels entitled to get their way due in having equal skin in the game, thus making them feel, why should I cater to you when I do the same things that you do? Now that's actually pretty interesting. Why would I do this? Well, because that I could see that if I'm pulling the same weight as you, that I've seen that there are people like that. That much I can't say. There are people like that. I guess I can see that because if a woman isn't fully in her feminine energy, she should be like relaxed and happy. And if she's relaxed and happy and at ease, if the man is in his masculine energy truly, then he will be able to handle what's going on. Now, am I personally saying like a male is 100%, a female 0%? No. What I would say, I wouldn't say 50-50. I would say, for me, how I view it, I would say 70-30. Yeah, 70-30. But that's how I see it. But let's keep going because this is actually pretty interesting. So, if you are a 50-50 type of guy that is looking for a woman to submit and cater to you, you must know that it will never happen to the extent that you would like, because she will see you as her helpmate and not as someone that is carrying the kingdom. She's not in her feminine energy. I get it. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, because the feminine energy should be relaxed and should be able to express and do what she feels. I get that part. On the other hand, if you are a 50-50 type of woman, you will never truly feel your most feminine self. I just said that. Because in this dynamic, you are playing a masculine role, also being the provider and protector, which may lead you to feel as though your man is not that much deserving of you being submissive more. Yeah. I'm getting tongue twisted, I'm sorry. You being the submissive, more nurturing type. There we go. I'm sorry. I got tongue twisted. Your man may also stop viewing you as a more feminine being and not treat you with the more tender love and care that you naturally need, due to him seeing you in that more masculine position on a subconscious level. Now that, put that over here. Thank you, Danica. That was great. She makes some very strong points. Like, if a female is in a feminine energy, she should, in my opinion, when a male can have a female completely in her feminine energy, she would have no problems catering to him, because she sees, because it's all the subconscious, like, because it's just energies connecting each other, that feminine and masculine. The feminine energy and the masculine energy, the feminine energy will always submit to the masculine energy, no matter how you draw it out. Okay? So no matter how you draw it out, that feminine energy will always submit to that masculine energy. And if more masculine energy is shown, if you got masculinity and masculinity, like, that's just two, like, bucks just going head to head. That's just how it's gonna go. Period. That's exactly how it's gonna go. With two feminists, I can't really say, because I'm not I wouldn't know. I would guess that it's just gonna be a lot of expressing of feelings, and I'm not sure if one would, I can't say. I just know it'd be a lot of expressions of how they feel. That much I could definitely say. They would definitely express how they feel. And again, that would depend on if those women are truly in their feminine energy, and it would also depend if those males are truly in their masculine energy, because if not, then of course one will submit to the other. But anyway, I've been on here for quite some time, and I want to thank everybody for listening, whoever's out there, because I know, all right, I do know. But anyway, I gotta go. I gotta get ready to go, because I got some moves that I gotta make. No, I'm just playing. I was trying to do the Travis Scott, but I ain't got no auto-tune, so whatever. Anyway, be safe, be easy. Right way, Jay. 2 fingers to the next time. Black American Kings. Regime change. Clear vision.